Hello there, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Coffee Time Career Chat here on this Monday. We had a few technical difficulties. You know how it goes. The webcam doesn't want to cooperate. It happens, right? All right, so we adjust on the fly and we keep moving. If this is your first time joining, welcome. My name is Patricia Hayes. I am an executive advisor, empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. And I love helping business executives, entrepreneurs, and professionals, particularly women who are looking to uplevel their careers, to uplevel in their careers, but need a boost of confidence, who need a new strategy. And I help them to accomplish this, particularly by taking a look at their existing professional relationship building skills, their networking, and how to leverage their professional networks in a valuable, purposeful, intent uh, with intent. Losing my words here, but with intent and with integrity. And it's a fun thing, a thing I love to do. So that said, we are working through our latest theme, which is exploring our connecting opportunities because it's harvest time. So let me put that plug in there because we are starting the Harvest Time Challenge on October 25th. So that will be next Monday. So if you haven't signed up already, you can hit me up in the DMs and I will send you the link. Check the link in the bio or go to the web page and we can get you all set up. All right. That's a fun thing to do. Okay. So this week, going with our thing for the month, we are talking about connecting to supplement our strengths and neutralize our weaknesses. And it's one of those things that we kind of assume that we're doing, but most of the time we're not. So we're going to talk about how to do this very purposefully, deliberately, and in a way that's effective so that your ultimate goals can be met professionally with your career, with your business, whatever it may. Because the reality is that we all have strengths. Those are our superpowers, right? The things we love to do, the things maybe we don't love to do, but we're super good at, but that's a different conversation. But also, we have weaknesses. We have things that we're not so good at, that are not our strong suits. How do we deal with that in our networking capacity? And the reality is, this is something that we need to build for as well. So we're going to talk about that here for a few minutes today. The first point that I want to make sure and make is that you have to be deliberate in your efforts. If you are not being deliberate in how you're approaching, this is a fundamental factor for the professional relationship building as I presented. And if you follow me, you know this. It is very important for you to be deliberate in your actions because the reality is randomness is not effective. Okay. It may get you a little ways, it may get you a little bit down the road, but at some point the lack of a deliberate strategy, the lack of taking deliberate action will come back to haunt you. And the things that you may have made some headway on will fall apart. I mean, it's just the reality of it. Okay. Another thing is people think, oh, I'll just jump in there and I'll do all of this stuff and then I won't have to do anything else. That's not true either, right? This is about, again, being deliberate, being consistent over time because you learn something every time you get out there. You learn something every time you engage in a new conversation. So let's say if you do 15 connections this week, right? You do 15 connections this week, you're like, great, I'm done for this month. And you wait it out. Now, it could be very fruitful over the course of the next 30 days. However, what is that going to look like in 60 or 90 days if you don't do the follow up? If you do nothing else? That's the problem, right? So randomness is not going to be effective. Um, Jumping in and just doing a whole bunch of stuff at once and then pulling out is not going to be effective. You want to be flexible with what you're doing, so give yourself some grace, give yourself some leeway, but you also want to make sure that you're taking the time to put yourself in the right spaces. This is why I say you have to be deliberate, because this requires thought, it requires effort, and requires a little bit of work. Not hard work, but does require some work. What do I mean by that? You're tracking your connections, you're reaching out to new spaces, you're giving thought to who it is you're reaching out to and why. Okay, all of those things are important, especially that part where I mentioned about putting yourself in the right spaces, because if you're not putting yourself in the right spaces, again, you're spinning your wheels, and in a few weeks and a month you're going to be like, well, how come that didn't pay off? Right? So this is why it's very important to be deliberate in your efforts so that you can take the steps necessary that will both support you and build you up in your strengths, as well as help you to neutralize those places where you're not as strong, to give you some resources to reach out to when you need help in those areas. People think that networking and reaching out and connecting with people is all about what's in it for you so that you can get to the next level. And that is a very surface level, very immature, if I might say so, a way of approaching it. Because when you go with looking at not just what you can get out of someone in the next 20, 30 days, but what's the long term strategy, and including how can I provide support to someone else when I'm putting it out there? How can I be of support and help to someone else along the way? This is when you start looking at things and approaching things with a different level, a different perspective, and some more depth. And that's what I'm talking about, being deliberate. So it's not just about jumping out there and doing a bunch of stuff that you can't support. I see it happen all the time. It's very unfortunate because you either get out there too fast, and then whatever you've done or whatever you've put out there, you can't support it. Okay. Or you're just not you're not being specific in what you're looking for, versus, both in what you seek to gain and in what you seek to give. Okay, so let's be deliberate in your efforts. The second point that I want to make is that you want to make sure that you're able to um, co- focus on connecting with like-minded people. Now, I'm being very, very particular with my words here. All right. When I'm saying focus on connecting with like-minded people, when I'm saying focus on connecting with like-minded people, I am not saying focus on connecting with homogenous people. I am not saying focus on only on those people who look at, deliver exactly like you. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. So the distinction I'm making is that if you know that you have certain types of goals and dreams and things that you want to do, then go seek out people who also have goals and dreams. They may have similar goals and dreams. They don't have to be identical. All right. And why do I say that? Because you can connect with people who don't have that. Because we get surprises, and sometimes there are just great relationships that are built again with people who don't look, act, sound just like us. But even in your deliberate actions, when you're looking towards people who have like-minded goals and dreams, this is really important because remember, we're talking about right now connecting to support your strengths and to neutralize those weaknesses. So when you connect with people, so for example, if you know you are about to start a new business enterprise, um, what is probably not as helpful to you right now is connecting with a bunch of your peers that you worked with, let's say 5 years ago. All right. Now, unless those peers from 5 years ago also have evolved and have businesses, or they have connections where that can support your new business venture, what you really want to start looking at is other people who are starting new business ventures and a level up. Let's talk about that. Who have already started their businesses, because this is how you grow. All right. Now, I've talked about this in other situations and other lives where I am in no way, never do I say abandon people in your network. That is just as bad, right? Just as bad as just going after certain people only for what they can give you. It's just as bad to abandon the people in your network. However, that does not mean that you don't grow. You can grow. You can grow in how you interact with the people in your professional network, right? Because here's the thing, everyone that you connect with is not going to be doing the exact same thing that you're doing. Hopefully not. Not if you want to have a diverse, healthy relationship and network that's built for the long term. All right. So you can still be able to provide support to people along the way because you stay connected with people who are different, who do different things, right? Because here's the thing I've learned over the years, you never really know where people are headed. And 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 1 year down the road, someone makes a hard pivot and suddenly your worlds recollide. Okay. It happens all the time. Or someone reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And I know you've been doing this for a while. Can we get on the phone and talk about what it is you did? How is it working for you?" Happens all the time, not just with me, but with my colleagues and folks. It happens all the time. So this is that piece where I say, don't, that whole, was it an old timey phrase? Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. This is that thing. All right. So keep up with people who are like minded, who are in a growth mindset, who are trying to up level, who are trying to achieve their next level goals, right? So that you can continue to strengthen yourself in that. You can identify those weaknesses. You can figure out who and where can help you to neutralize them or to provide some foundation for them so that they don't, kick you in the knees later on. Because, those things do tend to sneak up on us, right? So I encourage you to do that, but making sure that you focus in. Remember, we're talking about how we connect to support our weaknesses and to supplement them, as well as support our strength and neutralize our weaknesses. All right. The third point that I want to make is when we're talking about neutralizing our weaknesses, we want to be willing to learn in unexpected ways from unusual or unexpected people. I point this out all the time because when you open up your eyes and you take the blinders off so that you can be open to receiving from all kinds of places, it is such a powerful, powerful move. And it's amazing what can come from opportunities like that when you're willing to receive them. Because even as you're moving forward, and when we are trying to say, I'm not very strong in this area, I don't have this skill set, what do I need to do? Is it something I need to pursue learning about or not? It's really important to remain open to learning opportunities that we might not otherwise consider. I've done a lot of that, especially as I moved into the coaching space, right? That it was not something I was actively doing. It was something I was doing on the side for fun for many years. I didn't even know it had a name. But when I realized this is something I want to do more of and be deliberate about it, but knowing I did not have that background from that perspective, that meant I had to get uncomfortable with entering into a new space, knowing that this was not my strength, that I was coming in with a lot without a lot of knowledge to support what it is I did. I had all, tons of expertise, tons of knowledge in the subject matter area, but not maybe not in the business aspects of it, maybe not in the formation of how you approach and support people in coaching. Okay. So, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's when you recognize, this is not a strength. It may very well be a weakness, or it may be something like I've just got to shore up where I am on this and figure out how much more I need to learn, or if it's something I need to outsource. Either way, it means connecting with people to help gain that support. All right. And that's really what I want to, make sure you focus on, regardless of what it is you're doing. There are so many opportunities out there that we can gain from when we are building up on our strengths, as well as when we're trying to neutralize our weaknesses and to figure out what steps to take next. And you want to be open to all of the possibilities that will help you to achieve that goal, that will help you to provide that support, to provide, to supplement that need, that growth opportunity, that growth potential. Okay. So that's what I wanted to make sure that I shared with you today. I look forward to hearing your input on that. And next week, we're going to continue this conversation about exploring opportunities because it's harvest time, y'all. I think next week we're going to talk about, let's take a look here. Next week, we're going to talk about, hmm, we are going to talk about adding, oh, I love this, adding youth and wisdom to your network. That's your teaser. I'm not going to give you any more information than that. That's your teaser, adding youth and wisdom to your network. Okay. Also, before we close out, don't forget that you can join the 30-day networking consistency challenge at any time. That's another link. The one that's ongoing that provides support inside a learning portal is available for a small fee. So I invite you to join in, take a look at it, figure out that's something you want to do, and you can wait to the next beginning of the next month, but it doesn't require it. The point is, as I've always saying, is to take action today and to start where you are and then move forward. So if you have any questions about it, don't hesitate to reach out, DM me, email me, all of the things. Reach out to me on the platforms, and I'm happy to support you in your next steps and efforts. All right. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye bye.